Hello everyone, my name is Clantis and welcome to the clan. So without further ado, let's get into this video. But before we get to the video, please, you know what to do, people. You know what to do. Smash the like button so that the algorithm will be triggered to go fetch us more members of the clan. And also subscribe to the channel. So without further ado, from that, let's get into the video because we just came back from the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court where Nandipha Magudumana was appearing for bail application verdict. Oh my goodness. The opening scene when Nandipha Magudumana was seated, she had her eyes closed and she was praying. At some point, it escalated into her almost bursting into song. If I were her, and I wanted to play on the victimhood card, I would have stood up and say, Bantu bakithi, ngiyazi ukuthi ngonile phambi kwamehleni kodwa ngilana ngizozisula kodwa ngicela sicule. And then musaqala joko. I was like, if I were her, I would have burst into song, making everybody question if I'm okay upstairs or what. But no, she did it to herself. She sang, and in my mind, I'm thinking, girl, whatever the verdict is, praying is not going to help you, whether you are free or not free, because at the end of the day, from what we've been hearing in the past few weeks in your application is that the state was on your case. And of course, the court did mention that the state does have an overwhelming case against Dr. Nandipha Magudumana. Okay, at first for me, I was asking a lot of questions because remember the letter that she had written, an encrypted message? I thought to myself, oh my goodness, South Africa is about to become yet another failed African state if ever Nandipha Magudumana gets a bail application. But of course, this court was like, we are not convinced on this, we are not convinced on that. However, Magudumana did win some and lost some, because if you look at the balance of probabilities, for me, it was 7-6. Oh, no, it was 8-6, meaning like the state scored 8 and then Magudumana scored 6. There was a point where they were neck and neck, and there was a point where they were literally racing after each other. But where she got hit the most was about her remaining in South Africa. And then the state said, well, she was able to pass so many borders without even producing formal documents to these border gate officials, meaning that she does have a way and means of leaving the country, which I also believe. There is no way that Nandipha Magudumana, with all that she has learned and that money that she has, she is not going to attempt escaping the country once again. No, there's a corridor for these people that is opened. There's a corridor. Bushiri used the same corridor, and the Guptas used the same corridor, and now the Bestas use the same corridor, and that corridor will not be closed until it is discovered who is the person that holds the key or the gatekeeper of that corridor. And once we get a hold of that person, perhaps people will not use our border gate as Mexico when they have committed a crime in South Africa by fleeing the country and living as fugitives. So, but before the court went into all of that, it first admitted that Nandipha Magudumana was indeed on Schedule 5 of the Criminal Procedure Act, and therefore the onus or the burden of proof was on her to prove to the court if it's in the interest of justice to let her go, and then of course stating her case. And then of course the court went through everything that it had heard. Of course, it heard from the court side of things. It heard from Nandipha Magudumana's side of things. Remember, she talked about being a mother. She talked about being kidnapped. She talked about what she's able to afford in terms of bail. She talked about her assets, fixed and movable assets, and that she's worth at least R1 million and all that stuff. And then, of course, we heard a statement from the investigating officer, Flyman, who basically listed out all the charges that they have on the charge sheet, and therefore this magistrate felt that indeed the state had an overwhelming or a strong case against Dr. Nandipha Magudumana, and that a verdict of guilt will be secured and she will stay a very long time behind bars. However, though, the magistrate was not convinced of the fact that on her being kidnapped by Thabo Bester, because she did not make any efforts of showing to anybody that she was kidnapped, and then she's gone through so many border gates for her to have at least took one of the opportunities and said, hey, listen, I am with a man here and he has kidnapped me from South Africa. Please protect me. She never did that. As a matter of fact, her departing with Thabo Bester was an indication that she was never intended to come back, and therefore the whole story of her being a mother of minor children, she left them behind anyway. And then if she had managed to escape the country, when was she going to be communicating with the child? Of course, she didn't say that. Now, that's my thought. That when I thought about it, I was like, that's true. And if she successfully did leave Tanzania, Kenya, I still believe they were going to Nigeria. I still believe they were going to Nigeria because of Nigeria's population. And I think of Nigeria, and no shade to Nigeria, please don't come for me. This is from what I've heard from Nigerians myself, okay? This is what I've also heard from Nigerians myself, that it's easy to bribe a Nigerian police to shut up, basically. So they would have went there. The population is over 300 million people. That would be like looking for a needle in a haystack if you really were in search of them. And even if you did find them, what is going to stop Thabo Bester going to the police commissioner or even the minister of police in Nigeria and say, hold here, just hold here, and don't send us back to South Africa, or whatever the case might be. But I believe they were headed there. If they were not headed to Nigeria, then they were headed to one of the countries in the Middle East. And I think if it's in the Middle East, it would be Dubai, because I don't think we have an extradition treaty with Dubai, do we? I think we do now, but before, about 6 months ago, I don't think we had it. And or maybe they were going to go to Lebanon, because I don't think we do have an extradition treaty with Lebanon. I don't think we also have an extradition treaty with Iraq. I don't think we have. Do we have with Pakistan? I'm not sure. But one of the Islamic countries, South Africa, does not have an extradition treaty with. And I think probably that's where they were headed to, so they can live happily ever after as lovers. So the judge, of course, was not convinced. However, the magistrate decided not to make a comment about her parenting, and I thought that was very nice of the judge, of the magistrate, because when it comes to parenting issues, that could be a thin line, or skating on thin ice if you mention anything about parenthood to somebody, whether the person is a good parent or a bad parent. Just don't mention it. That is one of the things that I think you should also know and put in the back of your mind. Stop telling people how to parent their children. So at the end of the day, after the magistrate had looked at all the evidence that was tabled before her, she came to a conclusion that she is not convinced that Nandipha Magudumana is not a flight risk, and therefore she denied her bail. She used the word refused her application, and therefore Nandipha Magudumana, I thought this is the point where she was going to go break down and cry. Oh no, guess what she did? She assumed the position of a strong black woman. She looked directly at the, at the judge, and even she stiffened her neck as well. And I'm like, so what was all the drama about tears and looking all sobby and sad and like, look at me, I'm innocent, I'm just a victim? No, suddenly she was this strong black woman, and I was like, okay, you go girl, whatever. But anyways, that was it. And Nandipha Magudumana is not going, is getting out of jail. And I don't think that the trial is going to be set anytime soon in 2023. If it is set in 2023, it's going to be set down for 2024. And of course, I agree with the magistrate that it's going to be a lengthy trial, because the accused, they're about 11 now, and then we are waiting for the big fish, which I think will never happen. And they think we already forgot about the big fish. No, we're not forgotten yet. We want the big fish too. All of them. Understand, I don't care how long this trial will take, as long as justice is served to the Bereng family and the other family of unidentified bodies that Nandipha Magudumana allegedly threw in the river, etc., and so on. And all the corruption charges and all the fraud charges and everything that is brought before her, that she, just like her boyfriend never get to see the light of day again. Unfortunately, again, children are involved here, and I feel very sad for them, to be honest. But other than that, guys, that is what the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court ruled this morning, that Nandipha Magudumana is a flight risk and therefore cannot be trusted that she is going to attend her trials. She is going to skip the country because she's got the means and the ways. Yeah, that corridor is still open. That corridor is still open, and we need to find out who is in charge of it. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, give it a like. Anyways, do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a new video. My super thanks are turned on. Thank you so much to everybody that's super thanking the channel. Thank you for supporting this channel financially. I highly appreciate it. You guys are the best. Also, do leave me a comment down below and let me know, what did you think about Dr. Nandipha Magudumana not getting her bail? And also, don't forget to share this video far and wide. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye. I saw in the analytics this morning, I said, I saw this morning that this morning I said 70, this morning I said 76% of you are just watching and not subscribed, but I did see after 11, my Judge Rada, you are in my mind, that's why. Okay, let's abandon that. Let's go on with the video.